week's edition of Will and Wise.
The Dog Show Drive.
Did I say that right?
You did.
Oh, good. I'm Will.
And I'm Y.
You certainly are. And this week on The Drive, we're going to talk about, is social media getting in the way of our humanity? That's a good question. Mm-hmm. We also have this week's show spotlights and part 2 of why our registrations are declining. All that
and more
on this week's edition of Will and Wise,
The Dog Show Drive.
I just do this for the music.
Yep.
The sun breaks, oh, I can't wait till I be on my way again. I'm sick and tired of
Why?
I will.
What's going on?
I'm sad. My brother left.
Oh, the Rain Man.
Rain Man, yep. He was here all last week, enjoying a non-vacation.
Was that his vacation?
Well,
no,
whatever.
He's been all over the place.
Yeah, he's been all over the place. But yeah, so I got to visit with family. We went down to Faith and her boyfriend's place there in Grand Marais. We spent the night, so that was fun. Oh. Yeah, it was nice. And then had a family barbecue on Saturday night when we got back. So
kind of. What do you mean, kind of?
Well, because I didn't invite that many fans.
Oh.
I did.
Are they listeners?
No, maybe some, maybe. So I invited a few. It's just because I knew it was raining, and my house is not. I have a great deck for a backyard. Like I have a great outside space. Inside, it's just too crowded. So I just decided I 86 the idea of having like all the cousins come over. So I just was like a couple, and then my friend.
Did you draw it out of a hat? Did you make a list and then bring this one and this one? They're married. Never mind.
No. I already know in my head who gets to come.
No.
So anyway, but it was a good visit. It was a nice family visit. I actually forgot that my mom's youngest sister, my Auntie Rhonda, she showed up at the dog show actually when Raymond was judging on Sunday. Yeah, it was nice.
Was she invited to the party?
No. Can we stop talking about this now?
Just in case they're listening.
I knew she was busy.
Oh, okay.
At least that's what I thought. Anyway.
Sorry, Auntie Rhonda.
Yeah. Anyhow. So we had a good week together. My mom dragged Raymond around to a couple of places. So like you said, go eat breakfast with my mom, and then he doesn't golf, right? So she's pretty busy golfing, so nothing stops.
Did he caddy?
No. But it was funny because when he was at my house though, he had about 3 breed exams to get done, the new breeds that are coming in.
Oh, yeah.
He was all proud of himself. I'm getting lots done here. He got those done, registered for the CDJA conference, and pretty funny. But other than that, we had a nice week. Nice week for us.
Well, it's always nice to visit with family.
Yeah. Actually, I've seen him more this year than I probably have in the last 3 years put together. Because we were at the garden, and then we went to Madison. There was one other place we were supposed to. Oh, I was supposed to see him in Edmonton, but I couldn't make it there. So
couldn't make it, yeah.
Yeah, but anyhow, probably won't see him now for 3-4 years. Anyhow, so how was your week?
Mine was good. I stayed around the house and worked. And Saturday I went and visited Love A Canine. It's a training center in Kingston, ran by Savannah McKenzie. And Savannah Vince. I would never know what her last name is. She's got 2.
We looked that up.
Yeah. Savannah used to work for me. She's great, and she runs a wonderful training center out in Kingston. And I went and did a whole day of private lessons there at Love A Canine. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing private lessons because it's one just sort of rolls into the next, and I like seeing people improve. And I always enjoy it after the first 10 minutes, and at the end of the class, they're like, "Wow, I enjoy that." Wow, that was a waste of money.
That'd be me. Damn it. Yeah. So that's what you did?
That's what I did.
You know what I saw on Facebook, actually?
I don't know.
The Fairhound National.
Oh, you watched it?
No, I just saw a picture, though. And dog that Brittany Corella and her mom, and though I can't remember all the people's name, but it won the national, the American National.
Oh, is that young dog that Stacy shows probably?
She owns it. Stacy Threffel owns it. Yeah. Her and Brittany own it together. That's
and
what
Dominic.
Yes, he shows it. He was in the picture. Yeah. So congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a great win. Good question.
And then the other thing that I saw that caught my attention on Facebook was the Simon Fraser University bagpipe and drum corps won the world.
Won something.
They won the worlds, and I think they were in Glasgow, Scotland. Like they won it, the whole thing. Canada won it. And the other thing Canada won was the women's flag football.
Oh.
So they have a berth into the Olympics because that's now going to be an Olympic sport.
Flag football is an Olympic sport. That shouldn't laugh. That's great.
Yep. Yeah. So, anyway. Yeah,
we used
but
to play
I thought
flag football in the school after school was over. We'd all go.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yeah. They have two flags on their hips. I think they probably have more rules than what us youngins did back in the day. But yeah,
two flags. I think I just had one flag.
Yeah, but now they have it looks like they have one on each hip, so you can grab a flag depending on. So you have to be
No, the skill of it was having the one flag and trying to rotate so no one could get it.
I don't make the rules, Will. I just watched the sports, and I think it's harder to not get flagged if you have two flags. Think about it.
Why?
Because it's easier. You've got two flags to choose from. You only had one flag. Now there's two flags.
I know. I don't know. It'll be harder to not get flagged. You mean? Yeah, I get it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now, bring. We're all on the same page. All right. So anyway.
Is that on ESPN 21? Did you see that?
It was on CBC.
Oh God.
Get out of here, man.
Take over hockey. We have no hockey night in Canada now, so we get flag football in the afternoon.
Yeah, there you go. Anyhow, some other things that we saw on Facebook this week was this is a very well written post. This is, and it's regarding we spoke about this. It's been a few months now, and it was about the passing of a dog in a vehicle. That was under the care of a handler. So this was posted by Chris Harner, and it's for Rain for Change. So she writes, I have sat back and watched with increasing concern as anger, hatred, and personal attacks have been directed toward the handler involved in Rain's tragic death. Let me be absolutely clear. Rain's death was devastating, a precious life lost, and that loss cannot be minimized, excused, or undone. Her owners, breeders, and everyone who loved her have every right to grieve, to be angry, and to demand that meaningful changes come from this tragedy. But there is a difference between accountability and cruelty. The handler made a terrible and heartbreaking error. There is no need to sugarcoat that fact. A dog entrusted to her care died, and the consequences of that loss will be carried by many people for the rest of their lives. But she did not wake up that morning intending for Rain to die. She did not deliberately cause this tragedy. She is a person who has spent years caring for dogs, advocating for them, and helping others in this sport. None of those things erased what happened. but neither should what happened erase her entire humanity. She also reached out to Rain's owners and told them what happened. That matters. She did not owe the entire dog community a public explanation, and while legal proceedings are ongoing, there may be very legitimate reasons she cannot speak publicly about the circumstances. We should be extremely careful about filling that silence with our own assumptions. Most importantly, Mark and Wendy themselves asked people not to attack anyone. They specifically said, "This was a horrible tragedy for all involved. The handler is broken from this. She is in her own hell." They asked for compassion, they asked for respect, and they made it clear that their purpose in sharing Rain's story was to encourage dialogue about safeguarding dogs and improving safety within our sport, not to create an environment where people attack and destroy another human being. We should respect their wishes. If we truly care about Rain, then her death should result in something more meaningful than Facebook outrage. Ask the hard questions, demand better safeguards, examine the systems, protocols, responsibilities, and standards surrounding the care of dogs at shows. Have the difficult conversations. Push the AKC and the sport to consider meaningful improvements. But stop pretending that cruelty towards one person is the same thing as protecting dogs. It isn't. Demanding better standards is appropriate. Learning from this tragedy is essential. But publicly vilifying, threatening, humiliating, or attempting to permanently destroy someone does nothing to bring Rain back and does nothing to make another dog safer. And to those who are now questioning whether this handler ever cared about dogs, think carefully before you write an entire person's history based on one catastrophic event. A terrible mistake can have terrible consequences without making someone an evil person. Two things can be true at the same time. Rain should never have died, and the person responsible for her care can still be a human being deserving of compassion. We do not have to choose between accountability and humanity. In fact, if this sport is going to become safer, better, and more responsible, we need both. Let us learn. Let us change what needs to be changed, but let us also have the courage to show compassion in the middle of an unimaginable tragedy. And that is very well written, and it's something that needs to be heard time and time again. Yeah.
Yeah, because like she stated, it was devastating for all involved, including the handler. And by tearing down this person who gave their life to this sport and unfortunately made a mistake. Mm-hmm. But listening to you read that gave me goosebumps. Yeah. And I've already read it a few times.
Yeah. So, yeah. It goes to, I don't know, I've been, you read posts about stuff, and whether it's, from setting up at a dog show, and it's the Facebook bashing that goes on it's out of control. It is so out of control. A lot of times, and I've said this before, if it doesn't involve you, shut your yap. You don't know anything about it. You don't need to chime in. You just don't.
Give your 2 cents and make things worse.
Exactly. And I don't know, maybe as a parent too, I get really cheesed off about this as well. For sure. It's ridiculous. And, actually
this whole party is already going through it. They don't need some Yahoo from wherever vilifying the whole thing. They already know. They're well aware of what happened.
Yeah. And
everybody involved is hurting.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just exactly that. We need to find the compassion in this sport, and it goes from every single aspect of it. It goes from, you're at a club, you're at a show, and, you want to complain about the judging schedule. Well, instead of, complaining to everybody and their sister about it and posting on Facebook how crappy that was, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you go and make some suggestions to the show secretary?
Right.
Help out. Be a part of the solution, not amplify the problem. And I think that's what people, we really need to start doing that.
Yeah, no, and people don't realize that another situation. We're not talking about this situation, but those are all volunteers out there, and they're there putting on a dog show for you.
Yeah.
But the humanity is social media has taken part of our humanity. It really has.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I've, I don't post a lot on social media, but don't get me wrong. Like I've read something and I'm like, whoa. And I will type out the whole thing and then I'll sit there and go, delete, delete, delete.
Yeah.
And because also, I don't know.
Well, it's easy to get caught up in some posts.
It is.
And then not realize there's a bunch of different sides to it.
And you don't know, the other thing you don't know is who else is reading that? Who else are you influencing, good or bad, about what you've said? Because whether you think you're important or not, words matter. My dad always said, words matter. And that's the other thing you must be aware of. So
I know it's social media. I know there's keyboard warriors, but for a lot of us, we're reading these posts and they're in black and white and they're out there in the world. So you believe a lot of the things in the post at first when you're reading it. So without looking back and saying, that can't be right, and knowing there's more sides to every story, but it's that first initial, because we're reading it. Because you're reading it and you think we're used to, well, not everybody, but our generation is used to reading newspapers and whatnot. That was
whatever was printed was the truth, right? And now and unfortunately now it's not. It just isn't. No, now it's a lot of it's opinion. It's not fact. And that's where we all get caught up in the opinion part of it. So I just think, we really do need to take a step back and stop with the bandwagoning on Facebook when, if you don't know, if you weren't there, you didn't witness it with your own eyes, perhaps you really don't have an opinion about it.
Right. When I read such things, I try to put myself in everybody's shoes and look at it from their perspective. And it changes a lot of the way you look at things. Excuse me. So it's a little exercise I do, but it is heartbreaking, these situations, but we still have to have a level of humanity.
So
what a wonderfully written post that really
was. It was very well written. So
like I said, I've read it a few times, and when you read it, I got goosebumps, and it was goosebumps mostly because of what I was listening to and the reality of it all. Not because of your presentation had something to do with it too. But,
I tried hard. I felt strongly about this.
Yeah.
So anyway, but so, when you're at a show this weekend, folks, or if you are doom scrolling on Facebook and you come across something that kind of gets your ire up, maybe just keep scrolling. Right. That's my advice.
We can't help ourselves. We just
go watch kitty cats doing weird things.
Or Seinfeld.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, let's carry on with the show. Let's go across Canada.
This is it. Brought to you by Canadian Dog Fanciers, showcasing Canada's top dogs.
All right. So we had this past weekend the Manitoba Canine Association through 14th through the 16th in East St. Paul, Manitoba.
That was always a fun show to go to. I always enjoyed that show.
Did you?
Well, there was one incident, but it made it memorable.
Okay. Anyhow, they had a total of 4 shows.
And I have the scars to prove it.
Total entry was 615 dogs, and they were down from the previous year of 796 dogs. But they did have they had the Golden Retriever National there, and that got an entry, I believe, of over 100 dogs.
That's great. Yeah. Well, our friend of the show, Carl Lietman, judged it.
Yes.
He's a big draw on Golden Retrievers. He judged the American National a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, Carl Lietman. I've known him since I was a kid. So.
And they did the sporting dog specialty on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then we had the St. Catherine and District Kennel Club in Grassy, Ontario, and they had 3 shows for a total number of 422 dogs, which was up from the previous year of 367. Well done, folks. Well done.
Yeah.
And
Wow,
then
that's excellent.
Then the New Brunswick Kennel Club on the 14th through the 16th. They had 4 shows for a total number of entered 716, and that is up from the previous year of 620 or 652. So good job. That's excellent.
Yes. Hats off to you two, St. Catharines and New Brunswick. Good job.
New Brunswick. And then we have a reminder for closing Skull Hall Kennel Club. Ooh, that's the other thing I saw. Skull Hall Kennel Club. There is no closing. They've canceled the show due to the forest fires because where they have their show is now a staging area for the...
Oh, no.
Yeah, for the... Is it Summerland? Summerland, BC? Yeah. I just read that. I did this just in. I did read that today on Facebook, and I meant to... Yeah, so the Skull Hall is not going to happen this year, which is unfortunate, but... That is, so.
Yeah, things need to take precedence over it. So.
Yes. So carrying on, we have the Oakville and District Kennel Club. That closes on Monday, August 24th at 8 p.m. Do you know what Monday, August 24th is?
What?
It's Raymond's birthday.
Oh, I was not aware of that. I usually do wish him happy birthday, not until someone notifies
so on
me.
On Monday, everyone, you can Facebook message Raymond, happy birthday. Anyhow, that closes at 8 p.m. and that's a Diana Edwards show service. And then we also have the Halifax Kennel Club on Monday, August 24th as well.
August 24th?
I know, Raymond's birthday.
Happy Raymond Day.
Or when their limit is reached and the show secretary's noteworthy farm show services. And then I think this is finally, unless I look on, this is finally Pictou County Kennel Club, closing on Wednesday, August the 26th at
August the 26th? That's
no family member.
Day for Raymond Day almost.
Almost. That closes at 5 p.m. or when their limit is reached, and the show secretary for that show is Nancy McRae. Now we'll carry on to our show spotlight, brought to you by Show Scene Magazine, the place
to be seen.
And this spotlight is on the Oakville and District Kennel Club, being held Friday, September 11th, 12th, and 13th. And they are in partnership with Royal Canin, and it's held at the Ancaster Fairgrounds in Jersey.
A nice fairgrounds to work at.
Jerseyville, Ontario. Is that where Erie Shores is?
No, that's in Caledonia.
Okay. I don't know where it is then. I remember when it was
used to be in Milton.
I remember when it was in Milton,
and it bounced around a few places, and it settled in on the fairgrounds in Ancaster, and it's a good site for a dog show right now. So.
Yes. What else was I doing here?
Specialty shows, the Airedale Terrier Club of Canada National, especially the Bulldog Club of Ontario, the Bull Mastiff Fancier of Canada Regional, the Canadian Scottish Terrier Club Regional, Club 6, non-sporting group, Ontario, Irish Red and White Club of Canada Regional, Kazan Club of Ontario, Pomeranian Club of Ontario, Saluki Club of Canada Regional, Samoyed Club of Ontario, and the Weimaraner Association of Canada Regional Specialty.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a nice bunch of specialty shows. And then they also have limited breed shows on Friday for the hounds. Saturday will be sporting, and Sunday will be working. They have the baby puppy event for both Friday and Saturday. Friday also veteran and altered classes. They have the owner handled competition Friday only, and junior handling on Saturday. And don't forget, what else is here?
It's closed on Raymond's birthday.
On Raymond's birthday, Monday, August 24th. So that's coming up real fast. Real fast. Now, let's take a look at our judging panel. If I can find it. And did you see it anywhere, Will? I don't.
Not as of yet. No, she doesn't have a complete
Nope.
judging panel
Well,
down for us.
we can say that there's Sean Carroll from Ireland, Lee Cox from the UK, Val Ramsey from BC. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Let's see.
Dean Dickey from the USA, Sherry
June
Tong
Wall.
from Ontario doing sweepstakes, June Wall from Ireland,
Dan Wilson.
Pam Bruce,
Um,
Sean Carroll from Ireland,
do.
Lee Cox, UK.
Sharon. Did you say Sharon Bartosh Kinney?
No.
No, she's doing the Saluki Club of Canada. Did you get Brian Harris? Yes.
No.
Brian and Louise Harris are both, and Barbara Pepper from the U.S. as well.
Oh, Barbara Pepper.
Yes. So that is
the Oakville and District Kennel Club, closing August 24th, 2026 at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
And that is a Diana. That's a Diana Edwards show service. Yes. Now, for our American show spotlight, it's the Gavilan Kennel Club, and that is located at the, oh my goodness, Stanislaus County Fairgrounds in Turlock, California. And that's on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And they're offering Fast Cat. I have got to get Fanny into some Fast Cat. I think I would like this. Trick Dog and CGC testing. They have a PB class for the little juniors on Saturday, midday before the groups start. They also have an AKC sanctioned 4 and under 6 month puppy competition. They do have the National Owner Handler Series. And the judges at this show are Mr. David Alexander from Coral de Terra, I don't know, California. Nancy Ambergay, Dr. Andrea Bradford, Mrs. Susan St. John Brown, Mr. Philip John, and Mr. Robert L. Robertson. I like Bob Robertson.
I know him very well. Irish Center guy.
Yeah. And the Saluki Club of Greater San Francisco is offering 5 Saluki shows Friday and Saturday during the all-breed shows and 3 Saluki specialties. So 1 specialty per day, which is nice. So the entry's closed for this September 16th at 12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And that is your U.S. show spotlight, or both of our spotlights, brought to you by Show Scene Magazine, the place to be seen. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
Back to this week's topic, which was last week's topic, just continuing of it.
I know. It was like really long.
We had a lot to do. So this week's topic, sponsored by Leading Edge Dog Show Academy.
Where your success is our success.
That's right. Part 2 of low registrations and why are the numbers down? We're going to catch back up at part 10, which is other possible factors.
Yes.
There are also broader changes happening in the dog market. Are fewer people actually breeding? Are experienced breeders reducing the numbers of litters they produce? Are new breeders finding the cost of entry too high?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I do think people are not breeding as much, for sure. You know, because you look at some of the older breeders that I knew of, you know, having 2 or 3 litters a year was a norm, was a given. And that
wasn't big in the day. That was normal.
No, that was normal. And now, I mean, breeders are having one litter maybe every 2 years.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
You know, like that's a lot. That's a lot. That is quite the reduction.
Well, I was talking to Sherry about this, Sherry Burns Smith, who we read Beagles together, and we just bred Mia, and the cost has been phenomenal to ship her to the stud dog, all the testing. It's just been incredible. Like it's crazy how much it costs to continue your family of dogs if you want to do it correctly.
Yeah,
and move forward while you're doing it, not just using the neighbor's dog because it's not going to cost you very much.
Yeah, but
you're going to put a lot of thought into it and choose your stud dog, and end up having to send your bitch or semen or whatever, however you do it. The cost is these days is crazy. I couldn't believe it, the numbers she told me.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And then with the new breeders finding the cost of entry too high. Well, if you're looking at, the perfect new person coming in, they've got their, their 1 or 2 dogs, they're in the breed now, they've been showing, and now they're looking at, they are looking at breeding. And then, basically you tell them, I mean, you're looking at, I hate to say the numbers, but you're looking at like a minimum $5,000 to a $10,000 expense just to get into the whelping box, and fingers crossed you get puppies out of it.
And
right?
People think there's money to be made in this one.
Well,
conscientious breeders
not the way we do it.
Not in our world.
Not the way we do it. Not the responsible way, and unfortunately that's the truth of the situation as well, right? So
it is unfortunate.
Yeah. And then, so if you're looking at, a younger couple that is coming in, or, a younger person coming in, where are they getting, like, not everybody has this kind of like luxury money to, basically it's a crapshoot, right? It's a crapshoot. So you spend the money, and hopefully 64 days later, you've got something to show for it. And then even then you're like, is anything going to be of, worthy quality to keep and continue on the line? Or is everybody just getting a delightful, well-bred pet, Yeah. And but that's the reality of the situation. So
I hats off to breeders. It's a passion,
Yeah. Yeah. Passion / being nuts. I don't know. Are people choosing not to register? I don't know if that's for here in Canada. I don't know if that's a real, because we are, as breeders, we're responsible for registering every puppy in that litter. I know in the States, you get your puppy, you get your pink slip basically, and then it's up to you to register your dog. So, and then that's the other thing. There are a lot of people that just don't even see a value in registering the dogs, right? Like as pet owners. If I know that, you breed, really well-bred, tested, titled dogs. Why do I care? I'm not going to do that. I just want, a dog to sit on my couch. Why do I need that piece of paper?
They're not going to compete in our sports.
Yeah.
Be it agility, be it conformation. They don't
exactly.
Really, it's not important to them. And there's lots of things they can do with their dog without being registered. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's up to the parenting bodies to promote these sports, to want people to register their dogs to compete at the sports in our world.
And I do think, like with the performance events now, I think that is, somewhat enticing for people, that they can participate in that regard. But because we have more, don't get me wrong, we have more performance events that people can participate in, such as sprinter, agility, even obedience, the rally obedience. It's not just because before, you would look at it, it was either showed your dog or you did obedience, or maybe you were a field person, and those are different.
Now there's all kinds of options.
Yeah,
and
which are,
I think we talked about it last week. You looked at the numbers.
Yeah.
Those sports are going up in attendance where dog shows are going down.
Right. Because they seem to be more technically fun, right? And you're not being judged as
non-subjective activity.
Right? Exactly.
It's not canine figure skating. It's your dog is either the fastest, or your dog knows the trials, or can
either your dog sit and stayed or did not.
Wasn't my opinion. Well, it looked like I was about to sit, so I'm going to give it a
I'm going to sit. Yes,
because you're my neighbor and your son cuts my grass.
Right. So, and with that goes, so is the consumer changing, and I do think the consumer has changed.
For sure.
And I think this is where we're on the back foot.
Megan that sent us that post about the I forget who it was, but it was about monies being spent nowadays. How
Yes.
the purebred world say, well, no one can afford it, but then you look into the designer world, and people are affording
Right.
it.
Don't get me.
So
Yeah, exactly. So,
it's a lack of our clubs not promoting themselves
right.
as
It
what they
is.
really are.
We really have no one to blame but ourselves at this
Outdated
point.
websites compared to these new ones, jargons. That was a very good video. I think was it you or Megan that sent it? I can't remember.
That girl that does the critiques.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. I watch her all the time. Golden Agoutis. Go
Yeah,
check her
no,
out.
she's
She's
good. We should
very.
have her on the show.
We should.
I really think she's
We've
interesting.
talked about this before.
Well, oh
Yeah.
boy, I forgot.
Yeah. Really? You forgot? Get out of
Oh boy,
here.
I forgot.
Anyway, yes. So, yeah, so our buyers choosing mixed breed or designer dogs. Well, in this world of trending everything, I'm going to say, yeah. And our younger generation's less interested in traditional purebred ownership. And I think in some respects they are.
Well, because there's been a poor light put on it by different organizations, and we're not
Yeah,
standing up for
exactly.
ourselves.
Yeah. And that was the other thing I read. Someone posted it on Facebook, and I believe this is true. Remember how we had in Ontario, they were fighting for the ban of ear cropping? I think that went through. So there's no more ear cropping or tail docking in Ontario anymore.
So that's official now?
I think it is now. I think it went to whatever they call it, final assent or whatever. So once again, us in the dog show world that, we understand and there's a reason why we do what we do as far as the way the dogs look. So I don't know, because Ontario was one of the last provinces that had.
Yeah, it was the last one, yeah.
We are the last one, right? There's no.
Right, yeah.
So now what do? You go across the border and you can still be fined or whatever? Like, what do you do?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see and what they come up with.
Exactly. But back to this.
Back to this problem. One problem at a time.
Yeah, and our consumers more focused on the individual dog rather than a pedigree. I don't know, perhaps.
I think they are. I think the days of saying, like, I remember you could take your dog for a walk in the park and you'd walk up to a Springer Spaniel and then you start talking to the owner and they would go on about, this dog's parents are champions. And you don't hear that as much anymore.
No.
It's not, it doesn't, I don't know why it doesn't have the allure as it used to. But again, it's probably self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Like we went through a period where we ended up being so elite that we scared away the public that we need.
I think to a large part we did.
Yeah.
I think we did.
Yeah.
I think we got on the slippery slope and we forgot to put the brakes on at some point.
But events like Westminster and AKC National and even the Philadelphia show shows that there's still interest out there because they still get a viewership, they still get an audience. So we have to figure out how to grab that into our world and use it.
Yeah, it's not to our benefit, but it's to illustrate what we do.
Our sport.
Yeah. Like, illustrate what we do.
When we look down on these designer dog owners, who's to say that we didn't scare them to those designer dogs, so we didn't force them to those designer dogs?
Yeah,
because no one's looking down at them for that. And I think it would almost be beneficial to have like how 4-H has whatever breed you want to come in and compete, and you enjoy that. And you think, oh, I like to really compete. I like to really compete with a dog, and then you look towards the purebred world and see if that's the way it goes. 4-H does a lot of good for animals. I think
for sure. And I think we've talked about the economy of everything, whether it be, travel expenses, veterinary costs, even, our inflation within, your household, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So, and all these
everything
things.
is just costs.
Yeah.
Everything has gone so substantially up that luxury sports are low on the totem pole.
Right. So part 11, why should the dog fancy care? Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Registration numbers are more than just statistics. Fewer registered litters today potentially means fewer registered puppies entering the registry, fewer potential future exhibitors, fewer people becoming breeders, fewer new people entering breed clubs, potentially fewer participants at dog shows. And I mean, we're seeing that already. And a smaller pool of people supporting canine organizations and events. And I mean, that's in our face right now too. And like I was saying to you, and I don't go to a lot of shows, and I'm in a smaller area, but when I go to the show and you only see 4 puppies in the best puppy and show lineup, to me that's the alarming fact right there. When there's only 4 puppies.
There's a lot of factors like that. When you're at a specialty, and not every time, but when a veteran wins the whole specialty, that kind of tells you where this breed is going.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
now there's individual cases, obviously, but
but in the fact too, like that's the other thing. You look at a specialty show, you want the bulk of your entry to be in the classes, not in your specials, not in the special ring.
That's not the way it is anymore.
Not at all.
In Canada, anyway.
Well, not even in the States, though. If you look at a lot of the specialties, there'll be, maybe 7, 8 dogs at, like one of those regional or, club specialties, and you'll have, 10 to 15 specials dogs. So what's that telling you? That tells you that there are not people producing the dogs to be shown. And they're holding on to their specials longer and longer to keep showing them, right?
But tell me how hard it is, because you probably get the same phone calls I get. Can you recommend whatever breeder, a Cardigan breeder, a bearded breeder? It's getting harder and harder.
Oh, for sure.
Options for people,
because they don't, so and so who you always used to send to.
I don't know if they're,
I don't know if they have any puppies at the moment, or whereas because you could say to them, I don't know if they have any puppies at the moment, but give them a call, because you knew that breeder within the next year would be having another litter or 2 litters, and you could get on a wait list and you can get a puppy in a year or 2 if that was even as long as you had to wait. But now it's like, I don't know if they have any puppies, and I don't know if they're breeding anything in the next 2 years, right? So if you're going to, and people don't, because that's the way we are as a society now, it's the instant fix. Right? And you can go to those, those doodle websites, and they've got puppies listed up the wazoo. You pick your color, you pick whatever, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, here's your change. Thank you.
$10,000, and make sure you feed this brand of food, and you're on only this kind of vitamins, because if you're not, then you wreck your warranty with this puppy. So it's true. It is crazy. It is true. So anyway, but I digress about going on to that. But yeah, so the bigger concern to me is the fact that that there's not the number of puppies out there being shown either. And so you look at today's puppy buyer, that could be tomorrow's exhibitor, tomorrow's breeder, the judge, a club member, or a volunteer. So if fewer people are entering the purebred dog world, what does that mean for the future of our sport?
Oh, we're an aging population in our world. There's no question. That's why when I get junior handlers approaching me about interests in carrying on, I go out wholeheartedly. I will take my time and exactly. And whatever question they want, and I try to stay as positive as I can about everything, because we don't have them.
No.
The interest. And I've judged a few junior handling classes out here at the smaller shows, and I love it when brand new kids come in, and they're brand new. They're brand new, and they may not. I had this one young man. He was great. I won't say his name. He was a great young man, and you could tell he was new, and you could tell that he was kind of pushed into it by his parent. Oh, just go on in and try it, right? So I gave him a lot of attention. I gave him a few little tips right away, and you could see it clicking Well, now he comes to my classes almost every other time now.
Yeah.
He wants to learn. He's enjoying the classes, enjoying working with the dogs. He's enjoying the dog shows. It's we need to nourish that. We really do.
We do. So carrying on. So let's look at the AK versus the CKC. And surprisingly enough, the percentages are basically the same. So in early 2025 for AKC, dog registrations were down 18%. Litter registrations were down 14%. In Canada, it's funny how she gave me all the numbers for Canada. Well, because she looked them up. In 2025, 7,873 puppy litters were registered. So that was litter registrations. 36,812 Canadian-born dogs were registered. In 2023, so 2 years prior to that, 44,988 Canadian-born dogs were registered. So that's approximately 18% fewer Canadian-born dogs were registered in 2025 than in 2023. And also, the numbers also show that also the Royal Kennel Club shows the same numbers too, the same percentages of decreasing. This suggests we're potentially looking at a broader change in purebred dog breeding and ownership rather than a problem unique to us, like to Canada or to America. It's
a world
dog.
problem.
The dog fanciers. Yeah. So do the registrations tell the whole story? Well, not necessarily. Registration stats don't tell us how many purebred dogs actually exist. Now, I know we always say if it's not registered, it's not purebred, which, I mean, that's our little bubble world, right? How many puppies were produced but never registered? See, and so in the States, that's different because, like I said, you get your puppy, you're responsible for registering it, not your breeder. Whereas in Canada, we do have to individually register every puppy. How many breeders have stopped breeding? Well, we've talked about this as well, and that's becoming a very, steep decline in the number of breeders we still have out there. This was interesting, and I never really thought about this, is how many breeders have moved to another registry?
And that's a real problem. Not a real problem, but like you look at the UKC and the ABI, you can register your dogs through all those registries now. And they're very welcoming. They're very easygoing. They're more of a family environment. We've done this to ourselves.
Yeah.
We need to correct it. We really do.
Yeah, for sure. So how many puppies are being sold without registration papers? Here in Canada, I don't know if that's, as far as if you register a litter, you have to tell them how many puppies are in the litter. I mean, you could lie,
I don't know if that's
but to
the
me,
same
that's
with
like
other registries, though. So I don't know.
Yeah, and to me, if you lied on your litter registration because you don't want to register all the puppies, like that's a lot of math and calculating because you want to register the ones that you're going to show. Is that the right one? Like, wow, that's too much work, in my opinion.
But again, with the other registries, think about it. If they're not going to bothering with the CKC and go those numbers, they change things.
And then, like we said before, and how many people just don't value the fact that your dog is registered.
Yeah.
Right. So, important distinction. The number of registered dogs is not necessarily the number of purebred dogs, which is true. It represents the number of dogs being registered with that particular organization.
That's right.
Yeah. So, the big question, why are the registrations declining? Well, we always talk about the post-COVID correction. And I don't know. I'm not sure if it's like, was COVID the opportunity the purebred dog world missed because the doodle world sure didn't miss it, right? Cost of living, veterinary expenses, just all of the, with the socioeconomic stuff that we've talked about.
We've already gone through all those individually.
Yeah.
And so those definitely do have a factor. I honestly think because if you look at the other registries and the designer dogs, there's something we're doing wrong.
Yep.
There
For
is
sure.
something we are doing wrong. Is it welcoming? Is it taking too much from our own? Like, can our parent clubs give some sort of discount for each thing? And there's got to be different ways of looking at it.
Yeah. And the thing is, because I showed cats have a very interesting, the cat shows, they have a very interesting way of looking at the non-purebreds. They call it, I think they call it the household cat. And you can bring your barn cat to a cat show and show it. And they always talk about how that turns someone from that just has, their barn cat and they get to participate.
Yeah.
Right? They get to participate. They're in the same venue. They're looked at no differently than the purebred cats. They get their own ribbons and stuff like that. And, they talk about the turnaround from, the household cat into the purebred, part of cat shows.
And that can happen in our world. I did a seminar again at Love A Canine a few years ago, or was it last year? I can't remember which one it was. And this young lady came in with her mixed breed, and she competed, or she participated in the seminar. Yep. And she was so taken by the seminar that she enjoyed doing this with her dog so much that now she has a purebred dog. And I see her at dog shows helping handlers out, and she has her own dog now, and she's showing her own dog. Yep. And I saw her on the weekend. She came and did 2 classes because she wants to improve. Like, it can happen. There's people out there that want that change. She enjoyed it so much with her own dog that she loved dearly, of course, but she knew that there was a limit where she could go with that dog, and she still enjoyed the sport, and she's carrying on. She's a wonderful young lady, and she's doing great. Her name is Sarah, and I was really proud of her on the weekend. So
yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, if we looked at including people, like, for example, we hold our dog show in a public park, and I get upset sometimes at our show people because our show precinct is, I think we have like a square area around the show rings, and that's where we ask the people there with their pets or whatever not to be in that area. But of course, it's a public park, so please enjoy the park. And I had to catch a couple of people that want to complain about people with their dogs walking around. They've come to see the show, and what's the first thing they see is I'm going to get fired up.
Elitist.
Some elitist bitching that their mutt is standing.
Their family members, the dog show with them.
Yeah, exactly. And we want to know why we don't get people to come to shows. Exactly.
At the Aurora Kennel Club, we have where Grant Crossman runs a wonderful show.
And that's with the Pet Expo. Exactly, same thing.
It's a huge bonus for our world to be at that show.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happens. They'll bring your dogs from, because the pet show's open to anybody. You get there early, and it's like a lined up for a Grateful Dead concert, but instead you stand there with your whatevers. You're standing with your dog in line going into the event, and then our world complains that these non-entered dogs are.
And that's becoming our detriment. And that's becoming our detriment.
We have eaten our own. There's no question.
Oh, for sure. And that's the thing. Like, it takes nothing I saw an older couple. They had brought their little Bitsy with them, and I just walked up because they were going to start going under the tent, and I just walked up and I said, it's a rule that we have to abide by, so if you just want to stay out here, I said, please stay and watch the show if you have any questions. And they were like, oh, I don't want to break any rules. Oh, they were like they were so thrilled that I took the time to say to them, I want you to stay and watch, but just, you have to keep your dog to this side. And they're like, oh, no problem. And it takes 2 seconds to be nice. 2 seconds.
Exactly. And everybody forgets that every expert starts off as a beginner, as a novice.
That's right.
So
anyway,
who knows? We may have scared away the new Yvonne Norton at the dog show.
Right.
Because
And
we told
my
her not
goodness,
to
that would be terrible not to have more of me here. Terrible. Remember, everybody, I'm going to SDNG. So that was, and
But
that's all it does.
honestly, you think about it. You think about, these people that maybe they would be here and contributing to our sport and being wonderful at our sport, but because somebody scared them away at their first event or second event, instead of welcoming them.
Yeah.
No, we've done it to ourselves, and now we have the huge job to try to fix it before it's too late.
To do a correction.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, that was our topic of the week. It was a big one.
It was a topic of 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And that was sponsored by Leading Edge Dog Show Academy, where your success is our success.
Is our success. Yeah, but even things like Leading Edge Dog Show Academy, where they change, because they're geared to certain parts of our sport, but they also have grooming shows that get drawn into dog shows because of Leading Edge.
Yes.
And that's so important, and it happens all the time. And you look at we have participants just in our area that are students of Leading Edge that started off just in the grooming world, and now they're winning groups of the dog shows.
Yep.
So
exactly.
Hats off, Leading Edge.
Yes. So, well, let's wrap this sucker up. Will, let's go to Kennel and Bench.
to our Kennel and Bench. We need some Kennel and Bench.
Brought to you by Pro Plan, Fuel for Life. So this one is, when I read it, and then I said to Will, as much as things change, they stay the same. I had to read it because it didn't make sense to me at first.
No,
sometimes I don't understand why Megan does what Megan does. But then Will read the instruction, and I was like, oh, I get it now. So this is from...
Because Megan does send us Ron Burgundy instructions.
She does, because she knows better. This is from September of 1891. 1891. So this goes to show you how kind of sad we are.
Not from Mrs. Whitmore, is it?
No, this is she was nothing but a sparkle in her father's eye at this point. Anyway.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, so this was a section of it had to be. So this was a section, and it was called Notes and Comments. So the first comment struck me as so weird that you would publish this, but whatever. Mr. Elders from Toronto, Ontario. He writes, Black Cocker bitch Musa dropped suddenly dead the other day, the result of a fit. I'm not sure why he posted this, but she was bred by Mr. P.J. Keating and was by the Rideau Kennels Bob Oboe, had never been shown, but was placed second to Mr. Geo Bells, I say, at the recent Toronto Kennel Club's
How did
club
she never
show.
be shown, but she went second?
She went second to a dog. I don't understand. This was the parts that were confusing me earlier.
Yeah.
But then I read later. So then there's all these Cocker Spaniel stories. So then
I'm thinking, okay, go ahead.
You are. Snow. So Snow 2 and Jersey Boy. By a notice sent in this month, we see that the Black Cocker bitch, Snow 2, or Snow the Second, has recently visited Jersey Boy. Oh, I wonder what that means. It may not be generally known that Snow the Second is the dam of Mr. Geo, Bell's Amazement, Idea, Napoleon, Bed of Clay, and other winners. Okay, so piece this all together with me, folks. Then the next thing that I read is Mr. Geo Bell from Toronto, Ontario. Mr. Geo Bell's Kennel of Cockers was known as the Spaniel Kennels. The name is now elongated to be the unique title of the Ancient and Modern Spaniel Kennels. I say, remember that dog over here? I say, won't be there. Amazement expressed at the idea of Mr. Bell claiming such a name. So I don't know what tomfoolery was going on in the 1800s.
I think they're having an argument.
They are. And
nowadays we just keyboard warrior arguments.
And this is
they
why
had a lot of patience and determination to wait months to argue with these people.
Exactly. That's where you and I said, like, there'd be no way we would remember. If it made me mad, I'd be like, I'm gonna have to write in. And then you'd ask me 3 months later, did you ever write in? I'd be like, no. Are you going to?
I don't think I
never. I don't care anymore.
Think of the passion involved to wait by your
to
mailbox.
Hold on to that.
For the response.
And then there's some other, another one, Toronto Kennel Club. At the meeting held on September the 3rd, it was decided that owing to the late date, it would be advisable to relinquish the idea of giving a banquet during the holding of the bench show this month. Okay, so there's no banquet. Well, that would be sad. And then finally, imagine our disappointment when, after hurrying to the dog show to be informed that owing to the non-arrival of Mr. Lacey, one of the judges, that the awards would not be made until Wednesday. Many are anxious to know why Mr. Lacey disappointed us. Was it because he had conscientious scruples against traveling on Saturday or on Sunday? So basically it was against his religion. I don't know.
So it's like a Batman series. Tune in next month to find out what happened. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Anyway, so that was your Kennel and Bench, and that was brought to you by Pro Plan Fuel for Life. Still probably my favorite section of the show.
Oh, yeah, because you start off like, what is she sitting us? But that was fun.
Yeah,
that was funny. But you have to think about what they were doing.
Oh, I did. I told you, because that's the first thing as I came on. Have you read the Kennel and Bench? I don't get it. And then you're like, no, I haven't seen anything. And I'm like, oh, there's a shocker. And then I made you read it. And then I figured, then when I reread it, then I figured it out. Yes. So anyhow. So don't forget to click, subscribe to the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Audible, CastBox, and anywhere you get your podcast. Check out our Facebook page, The Dog Show Drive Canadian Edition, or email us your ideas, comments, and more, dogshowdrive@gmail.com. Don't forget, I'm going to SD&G. But he's still making me do a show, folks. He's still making me do a show.
All right, take us away.
All right, for everyone going to a show this weekend, I'm going to a show. I'm going to go to America. Seatbelts on, glasses on. Take care. Till next week, guys.
Stay safe, guys. We'll see you next week.